check it out. Look, this shirt has my name on it. Mementos. Hey, NFI people and people out there in the universe inside through the internet. I didn't get to talk about my book last time because I completely forgot to make a video about this book. But it connects to communities, so I guess I'll talk more about that dynamic rather than the book itself. It's a part of Life's Library, and I've done like a full year of Life's Library at this point. I thought I would talk a little bit about that and some communities. Kind of wing it. So the really neat thing about the summer book is it's a book about islands and thinking about belonging. I love this idea of islands and planets when it comes to community. I talked about this a little bit before. The main relationship in this book is this relationship between a grandmother and her granddaughter. The approaches that people have and how they change over time. I really think it's focused on this dynamic between how to approach the world as a kid and how to approach the world as an adult, and what the default pitfalls are in those things. I'll just go through some of my book highlights here because it ties well into this the idea of community, the idea of self-sufficiency, and how you can be in the presence of something that doesn't need you but enjoys your company. A community is sort of like that, right? Tuataria is something that has grown and that I've started. It's a community of people that doesn't need me to continue. It needed me for a while. Communities are made of people. Systems are made of people. I'm really proud to see how much Tuataria has cultivated and fostered, because it didn't exist since February of 2017. It wasn't there. It was just an empty space, kind of like an empty island that nobody had settled into. Every community has to have key components and key people that run it. That baton can get passed, and I did pass that. We like to think that it automatically functions like maybe nature would as an island, but it's already full of so many relationships that make it thrive. Just as every island with nature on it, right, thrives naturally, human systems, human communities need people investing in it for something to grow. There needs to be some kind of core reason that people are showing up, whether it's just to reminisce and talk with each other and support each other, or there's some kind of common goal that keeps the momentum going. And it reminds me of the idea of like when you go to a party or you go to an event like a D&D campaign or something from the outside where you don't feel a part of what's happening because you're more watching it. From a distance, an island that has no settlers on it, no people on it, maybe just nature, it looks complete from a distance. As if like going on that place is a disturbance to it. You see a bunch of people like dancing, freestyling, and you don't think that your dance will contribute to that and that sort of happening or event. But that's not always true. There's a common thread that runs through all the communities I'm a part of. I think that common thread is the values that are held between them. It's almost like the values committed to and the how they go about doing creativity and doing community, what the deep reason is for that community to exist. Whether it's conversation or it's music created, right, or it's important actions in the community, or it's investing in youth, providing some kind of contribution and added value of togetherness, some kind of shared walk. A lot of my identity feels like it's rooted in my investments and my interest in things outside of myself. Like I have the important stuff solidified. For me, like solitude, this book says like everyone is at sea looking for islands. Everything on the surface is sort of a game to play, a game of contribution, a game of adding value in places that I can within my reach. One of the main thoughts in here I have is it's possible in a dance with a person to find solitude in others. It's harder to be on guard for another person's solitude. The aspect of community, there's a togetherness to it, but there is also this element of the ability to be an individual in the presence of other people, because the choices that we make that differ us from other people can only be noticed really when we're in the presence of others. So sometimes the best way to be an individual is to join a group, because then you see what is similar between people and then the context and the surface level differences. There are common threads that run through every community I'm a part of, and then the context is sort of the artistic surface level side of that. Everyone is an island, everyone is a planet, everyone is a story. People want to feel connected to stuff. I don't know. People want to know that they're not alone and that they are connected to things and that other people are experiencing things similar to them. It's just really reassuring when you can belong to something. Somebody's like, I see you and I hear you and I understand and I want to help. People and places and things are miraculous with the keen eye to look closer at things. One of the other awesome lines that stuck with me about thinking about this idea of tribes and belonging is this line. Nothing is easy when you might come apart in the middle at any moment. Thinking about that in a metaphorical sense of community is fascinating rather than in the physical sense. Life is so delicate and miraculous. I think belonging is like that. What is the happy middle enough in belonging to things? How much of a part of something do you have to be in order to feel connected to it? If I can feel connected to something completely virtual without any in-person IRL presence with the people in that community, but I still feel a part of some kind of shared walk, is that enough? And then I have all these in-person things. What kind of happy enough is that? You can tell what I came up with this video prompt, right? Because I think so much about this stuff. A lot of my main thoughts are, what is the healthy approach to thinking about belonging and community? What is the healthy way to feel connected to things? What is the healthy way and not desperate way to not feel alone? It all comes back to some of the basics, right? The feeling of belonging and values and how to feel connected. If the world of measurement only works so far, right? If the surface and labels only work so far, how do you gain a sense of proud belonging on deeper things than just the surface, just identity? Yeah, it's wrong to assume easy outcomes with this stuff. What's easy to measure, and especially in terms of belonging, isn't always the most healthy thing to measure. I don't know. What do you think? What thoughts have I said that are unthinkable? I made a video about the idea of what it means to be human, and I always go back to that central thought. In terms of nature, you already belong. That is solidified. The question is, for anything above that, for anything that is human created in the human games that we make and the rules we all come up with, there is no life change without life exchange. In terms of the human game, there is no belonging without interaction with something else. And that's why I think the best way to be an individual is to be a part of a group. Everything is just energy. There is no self. I'm getting really philosophical. I'm running out of natural light. As always, thanks for watching. I look forward to NFI video responses next week. And yeah, DFTBA.